South Park: The Stick of Truth had the following sequences that could come off as majorly offensive: using farts as a weapon, throwing your own poop, summoning Jesus wielding a semi-automatic, a black kid shouting for the KKK, anal probing, watching your own parents have sex, Nazi zombies, aborted zombie Nazi babies, learning how to do abortions, beating up crippled kids, animal beatings, crawling through a gay man's ass, subtle racism, and so much more. Once I heard this game was going to get a sequel, I wondered how could they ever top all of the jokes they made in the first game. Well, within just a few minutes into the game, and... oh, I should never underestimate Stone and Parker. Well, that goes without saying, but damn! The Fractured Butthole takes place immediately after The Stick of Truth. Previous trailers show that our friends have once again divided into two different sides, the Coon and Friends versus Freedom Pals. While Kyle, Craig, and Jimmy decide not to play superheroes due to the civil war with Freedom Pals, the Coon is able to get them back with a mission to locate a missing cat and earn the reward. Now we must start at the bottom once again as the new kid transitions from the king of Stick of Truth into an uprising superhero. Our mission is to locate the missing cat named Scrambles while taking selfies to grow our social following using Coonstagram. Once again, Stone and Parker bring in everything brilliant from South Park to this game while making some major changes to the gameplay. While I struggled a bit playing this for the first time at EB Expo 2016, I absolutely love the combat mechanics compared to Stick of Truth. There is a lot that you have to take in, with the positions your team will take, the attacks you will use, what your enemy might do, and even if you can do some extra damage depending on the objects in the area, or if a nearby teammate can assist when you push a target towards them. It's a lot more engaging and creative in my opinion. Speaking of creativity, there is so much variety in, well, everything. Your character can wear a variety of costumes with an endless combination of colors to fit your liking. With every new piece added to my inventory, I'd find myself changing up my wardrobe and hairstyle in many different ways, and it's just so much fun with each look. Not to mention there's a wide variety in attacks, defenses, and healing capabilities you can choose from this game. Stick of Truth only allowed you to choose one of 4 classes, and you'd be stuck with your abilities for the rest of the game. Fractured, on the other hand, allows you to switch things up with a huge amount of classes. Any kind of power can be yours, and you can easily switch it up anytime you want. This could also relate to the game's identity subplot, where our character has to slowly find his or her identity through numerous tasks, fears, religion, and even gender identity. Yes, in this game, you can identify as a girl, boy, trans, other, cis, and even choose a wide variety of ethnicity to identify with. And at first I thought in some of these choices, a bunch of rednecks will attack you for what you identify with, but... spoiler warning, they're going to attack you no matter what you choose. This is a bit of a nitpick on my end, as no matter what decision you make, it won't really affect the gameplay in any way. The dialogue may change a teeny bit, but nothing really changes no matter what you identify as. The rednecks will attack us no matter what we choose, and the police will still ask us to help them arrest black residents whether our character is black or white. Like with Stick of Truth, each house, store, and parts of town are filled with so many references that I couldn't believe all the little details they put into this game. Not to mention all the collectible missions that brought back a lot of great moments from the show, like the Yowie pictures and the member berries.
Remember collecting all 120 stars in Super Mario 64? Ooh, I maybe.
Speaking of Tweek and Craig's Yowie moments, it's been proven that Tweek is an avid pop culture fanatic, as his elemental powers are huge references to other iconic materials. Whenever he uses his lightning attack, you will either hear thunderbolts and lightning from Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, or Supreme Thunder, which is an attack used by Sailor Jupiter in Sailor Moon, to which he uses another quote from Sailor Moon, which was, "I shall right wrongs and triumph over evil, and that means you." If they could put more anime quotes in this game, I'd be so happy. With all the hidden gems and certain areas blocked until you get a certain friend on your team, you have a lot of fun exploring South Park just to try and find every little thing there is. Summons, materials, new items, and even hidden bosses can be found at every turn as long as you're willing to look around. There's even hidden characters placed in the game specifically for Coonstagram, and it's hilarious. Also to note that we got our hands on the pre-order special since our EB Games had a few extras to spare, and got to experience the Gaming Buddy system featuring Towley as your guide. Sounds pretty cool, but what does he do?
You know what a government's good for? Nothing! Nothing at all! They're always trying to tell you what to do and spy on you and I hate them!
Thanks, Towley?
Hey, kid, I was just messing around about the government. They're not so bad.
As for the jokes, you need to always remember that South Park makes fun of everything and nothing is sacred to them. I'll admit there were a lot of uncomfortable moments that made me question a few things, but I still laugh because it's South Park. As I mentioned all of the offenses from the first game, this game features more animal abuse, ungodly uses for farts, beating up the elderly, beating up a crippled kid in a wheelchair, racism, rednecks beating you up no matter what you identify as, Cartman referring to cheating as Tom Bradying, cops arresting black South Park residents, and so much more, like way more. But hey, you can punch someone for using a microaggression if that makes you feel any better. Alright, I open up this safe, so what's in here? Never mind. I could go on forever over how many jokes and references could offend others, but you laugh it off because South Park makes fun of everything and everyone. Still, I was a little sad not to see Satan. His son Damien was mentioned, and we even had a shocking return of one of the oldest characters forgotten by many, but still no Satan. Here's hoping he'll appear in some DLC packages or something. Now, for as much as I love playing this game, I will say I do have some problems here and there. For one thing, the game allows you to skip some of the cutscenes if you've seen them already, except for the very first one, to which Cartman will just send you straight to the credits. Not even kidding. I usually don't find myself skipping cutscenes, but I like having the option. But the scenes you don't get to skip are all the super moves. Some of them can be pretty entertaining to watch over and over again, but there's only so many times I can watch my own characters summon up their elementals over and over again. I've also been noticing a ton of glitches from my own time playing the game, as well as others. Sometimes you'd see the characters' lip flaps, but they won't say anything, dialogues interrupting one another, and even a bit of lagging with certain battles. In this fight with Mutant Kyle 2, I had to reset the fight twice because it froze on me. I had to switch out some party members and even avoid sequences related to transformations and such, just so I wouldn't break the game again. Another thing I want to point out is, even though I praise the new challenging battle system and different mechanics used to solve puzzles, the game almost makes it a little too easy by giving away hints as to what you're supposed to do next. I want to try to solve some things on my own, but the game will throw in a hint that gives away the puzzle and almost ruins the fun. But hey, at least some of the hints come from our farting expert, Morgan Freeman. So that's a bonus. As for the controllers, well, once again, I'm convinced that using a controller would have been better than a keyboard. I personally don't own a PS4 or an Xbox One, so I had to play on my computer and use the keyboard, and it was a little bit awkward at times. For the most part, it wasn't too complicated to use, but I couldn't use the scanner mode that smoothly, especially when I would try to stun my enemies. I eventually got the hang of it, but it still had some annoying moments here and there. My friend Hannah played this game on the PS4, and she said the controls were pretty smooth with no problem, so if you want a smoother game, use a controller. Even with those complaints, I still enjoyed Fractured Butthole. Once again, it feels like you're playing one giant episode fresh from the show, and it's amazing. The jokes are amazing, the story's insanely hilarious, and the ending builds up to a ridiculous finish that really fits the South Park spirit. Would I say it's better than the Stick of Truth? I honestly would. The battling system is much more fun to play with, and you have a wider option in regards to attacks and strategy. It's a game I enjoy thoroughly, and I think you all can too, as long as you know it's all just for fun. Pop Spectrum gives South Park Fractured Butthole 4.5 pops out of 5. Not necessarily perfect, but I still love all the effort and energy they put into this game. This has been Robyn from Pop Spectrum. Thanks for watching. Before we end the video, we're gonna celebrate the new game with a poster giveaway. If you wish to have all 4 of our posters, just like our video and leave a comment with your thoughts on the game. Be sure to use hashtag FBWPosters to enter. The most creative and hilarious comments will be selected to win, so let's try to have some fun in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to Pop Spectrum and click on the notification bell to keep up to date with our videos. Thanks for watching!